Yes, you're most welcome to the Tactical Show today with me, Coach Jason Lukoki. Today we are looking into the tactical game understanding of a different system. Last time tried to get a 3-5-2. The advantages zerina, disadvantages zerina. So onako lwalero twagadde tulabe nti wetuba tuzze ne system endala tweyisa tutya nga tulina omupiira ate oba tweyisa tutya nga tetulina mupiira. Basically I'm developing it from the system we used in the previous game, that is the Teens Crane. Olaba nti Coach Botes came with a system of 4-2-3-1 system, whereby we capitalized all the spaces. Abaana basamba omupiira bulungi, especially nze omuntu eyansanyusa nnyo yali Agnes Nabukenya, yasamba nnyo midfield eyo bulungi. So I believe it is a system that I think we can also try to look at. So today we are looking at the 4-2-3-1 system. When you look at my tactical board, we have our 4. If our team is white, we are playing against the red team. So that means our team, we are using a 4-2-3-1 system, and the red team is using a 4-3-3 system. So basically, what is our strength in the 3-5-2 system? So tugenda otunulira omupiira gw'olwaleero nti system yaffe amaanyi gaffe galiwa. That's the most important thing. Nti otunulira ku phases esatu, the 3 phases of play. We are looking at the development phase, that is the defensive in the defensive zone, then the build-up phase, that is the midfield zone, and then lastly the creative and finishing phase, that is into the final third. So I'll start with the development phase. Nti wotunira development tugikola mu defensive third yaffe titulina ba defenders bali basatu nenga aba defenders baffe bali bana nenga ate tu attacking abantu basatu ono left right winger, then the central attacker, then the left winger. So notulina nti tulina advantage y'abantu babiri 2v1 nti mu wide zone eno in our right fullback already I now 1-to-1. Then on the left we have 1-to-1, that is a 1-on-1. Then if in the central zone in the defensive third we have a 2v1 situation. So when we come to the build-up phase, that is the middle third, we have an advantage of 5 players. We have our right winger, the left winger, the 2 defensive midfielders, and the 1 attacking winger. You look at all these 5 are playing against 3 midfielders, whereby we have advantage in the midfield third. So we can capitalize these spaces and build up to have more chances created from the midfield to attacking third. Now, when we go to the attacking third, we have only 1 striker who is fighting against the 2 defenders, central defenders, and we want to invite these left and right fullbacks to see we create spaces in the width. So when you look at the last concluded game, Kabene was lonely striker up front, and she was fighting. She has a very good working ethics, whereby yazanya nnyo wano n'olaba abakyala ababiri abadisplacinga nnyo. Challenge yali wonti yali adduka buli mu angles, whereby nata capitalizing a space. Era n'olaba goalo gye yateeba mu first game gye twasamba, yateeba goalo ng'ali mu central axis wano, whereby she got a chance. If she was patient enough all the time, she would have scored more goals. So we want to see how best this system can be of beneficial to us from the build-up, from the defensive third to the final third. So if we assume now we are building up from the back, I will look at my wing left and right fullbacks. They will come in front, okay, if you are building up. So we shall create these spaces here for our defenders to open up, and we shall invite one of the central defensive midfielders to come and create space, whereby if she comes here, we shall have this player in space. You understand? So we shall inform our wide player, the right winger, to move forward into that space, whereby this defender or this player will be driven back, so that we can have this space created. And if this space is created, so we are going to have this another defensive midfielder to come and utilize this space. If not, we shall invite our number 10 to come into this space so that we can have a build-up. So we shall create, if our ball is with the right central defender, he will play with this player who is free. If she is marked, she will have a combination of play with this right fullback to see we move forward. So if they have a combination here, our number 7 will push forward to create this space. If she is marked, then our number 2 can give a penetrative pass to number 9 and we score. Now, that is when we are building up to score. Now, when we lose possession of the ball, and that is the most important thing, how do our players behave when we lose possession of the ball? Now we have lost possession of the ball. I expect my number 10 to go back into that phase, our number 2 to come back into the defensive third, okay, and number 3 to come back in the defensive third, to have numbers into the defense. So we shall drop back the 2 central defenders, the central midfielders to drop back, and then we shall have our midfield block, starting from the 3 attacking midfielders to see we have numbers. If our number 9 is so athletic and is aggressive enough, she can fight for this ball to have those high in terms of pressing into these players if they are building up. But however, what do we need? We need to see, we want this team to possess as we count, we catch them on break. So I will inform my number 9 striker to drop back. So we allow these players to build up as they come. If they come, we drop back, all of us, into the zones. Okay? We have numbers, so they'll come into numbers. They will come into numbers in case they are building up. It doesn't matter how they possess their ball. But what we need is we want to sink them in. If we sink them in inside, so we are many, and when we get possession of the ball here, so if this is the central defenders who are here, so we have a lot of spaces created into the final third. So when we gain possession from the midfield already, we want them to come into our midfield third. So we sink them in, and when we gain possession, we have spaces created whereby if the ball is lost from here, we gain possession of the ball here. Already we have our right winger opening up. We shall play a long pass, and then we add up numbers. Transition has to be high. One of the holding midfielders will also add up to see we have many players where in the attacking third. You understand? So this is what we want to capitalize, so that we have numbers up front. So if we have crosses, she can meet the ball. If she misses, our central striker is there, can score. Our left winger is there, can score. In the case of any, if these players are also marked, if their transitions are high, the numbers are there. So we have our number 10 who can come and meet the second ball so that we finish. So we are looking at the strengths of this system. One, when we have possession of the ball, we have numbers into the middle third. You get it? So we have our numbers, we have 5 players, and now when we capitalize on the width, we have spaces created so that we can have goals scored from crosses and also our second balls to see our number 10 can also finish. That's why you saw most of the time Agnes Nabukenya was receiving balls and she wanted to do it, to shoot from a distance, because she was operating into this zone. So I believe if we can capitalize onto this system, if teams can have these systems into play, I think they can see how best they can capitalize and get maximum wins out of the game. So today we wanted to look at this. We shall go further okulaba nti tukizimba mu basambi baffe okulaba bategeera, but the most important thing is abasambi baffe bano okutegeera kye balina okukola mu kisaawe, with or without the ball. First and foremost, balina obeera comfortable ku mupiira. If you have players in the middle third who are comfortable on the ball, it is easier for us to possess, to build up from the middle third, because you know with these systems we have the 3 phases, under the 3 phases of play. In the defensive third, we develop that play because we want to attack. Now, when we come to the middle third or the middle zone, we have the build-up to create more scoring opportunities. And when we add up with the attacking forward, and when we're into the attacking third, we have numbers created so that we can't fail to score. You understand? So I believe if we really understand this and put it into practice, we shall have our players to play more good football and also involve them into play most of the time for them to understand what they're supposed to play. So, but above all, transitions have to be high, and these players need to know when to transit with the ball and adding up numbers into attack when we have possession of the ball. And when we lose possession of the ball, the transition back into the shape is most important if we go back into our shape. So we have our numbers into the middle zone, you understand? So this is the most important aspect, that if we have numbers into the middle third, so that we have advantage over these three players. This is a 5v3. We have numbers to see we are best into the midfield. So today this is what we had, and I believe when we continue with having this into our players, they will learn, and by the time the league is over, we shall have good football into the league, and girls to the national team will be many. So today, this is what we had for you today, and erange na basa banti subscribing ku channel yafe tutegere. We understand this tactical play to see we know what we're supposed to do as fans and as players. We want to wish you the best. Keep with us on touch, and we understand the tactical play with us at the Women Football Lab. Thank you so much. Let's meet next Sunday to see for another session. Tweyanziza.